Yes. So very good morning, students. So welcome to our today's session. In our previous session, we had seen all the four approaches to your capital structure. Correct? We had something called as capital structure theories. So all the four, approaches we had studied. Please be very much careful with all the four of them and understand their use, the difference between them. It's like a short question for for your exams. So coming to, all in all these four approaches, we had used a word called leverage. What is a leverage? Basically, about leverage in your common term is like you using certain instrument or you using a certain thing which actually eases out your efforts. Correct? If I want to lift, that's I mean this is how I was taught when I was in school. Correct? If you want to lift a heavier object, correct? If you want to lift a heavier object, you can use something called as leverage or a lever, which the efforts can be minimized. The efforts can be minimized by use of levers in the physics. So if you want to lift a heavier object, you just have to use a lever so that the pressure or the exertion what you'll be giving in or putting in can be minimized, can be reduced. So that is the use of leverage. While coming to our finance, what is meant by leverage? So though you guys have understood this concept, I want to again emphasize on this, on this concept, right? Let us take one example. Imagine we are running a firm which has 1 lakh rupees of capital. So the returns which we are earning out of this firm, the profits is about 20,000 per annum. Correct? You have a capital of 1 lakh rupees which you have plowed in. Now you are earning returns of 20,000 per annum. So all this 1 lakh was put in by the equity shareholders. Equity shareholders have contributed 1 lakh rupees to your business. They are earning some 20% return on this 1 lakh. Okay, so always the firm needs to keep its shareholders or all the stakeholders happy. Correct? How do we do this now? One option what I see is that you guys are very much clear that there is a difference between debt and there is a difference between your equity share capital. Correct? Debt is a different thing, equity share capital is a different thing. So it is like the expectations of shareholders are very high. The expectations of your shareholders is very high. Why? Because equity shareholders are the people who would have given you the capital. They are the people who are the actual owners of the business, correct? Whereas or your debenture holders are the people who would have given you some amount of money as debt, for which they will be expecting certain rate of interest to be paid end of every year or every month. Correct? They expect the interest to be paid to them no matter you make profits or loss. That's not their concern. They are not the owners. They are just the outsiders to whom you are supposed to pay rate of interest, a certain rate of interest. Whereas your owners are not like that. They are your own people. You make profits, you give it to them. You don't make profits, you don't have to give them. Correct? So what do we derive from all these things? We derive that the risk taken by equity shareholders is very high. Hence, returns expected from the equity shareholders will also be very high. Contradictorily, on a with contrast to this thing, right? With contrast to this statement, it's like The debenture holders expect less risk and less return. They always expect less risk to their capital or the money what they give you. They are okay if you pay them 5% rate of interest, but that 5% has to be paid on time. Correct? It has to be paid on time. So let us, coming back to our example, let us make a small calculation and understand why, how leverages do work in your finance, right? What was our initial thing? It was 20%, correct? I don't think we need to calculate that. We were earning 20,000 for a sum of 1 lakh rupees given by equity shareholders. Now, in a similar firm, imagine 70,000 rupees was borrowed from equity shareholders. The capital flowed in by equity shareholders was 70,000, and you had taken a loan of 30,000 rupees from your debenture holders. Let's do that. 30,000 rupees you had taken. Rate of interest is 5%, which comes up to 15,000 or 1500. You are supposed to pay 1,500 rupees to your debenture holders for the sum of 30,000 rupees which you have borrowed. Agreed? Right. Now, we had earned a profit of 20,000, out of which 1,500 rupees you give it to your debenture holders. You are left with 18,500 rupees. You are left with 18,500 rupees for a sum of 70,000 rupees which was plowed in by your equity shareholders, and the return what you'll be giving them is 26% and not 20%. You are able to pay them 6.43% extra, correct? You are able to pay them 6.4243% extra when compared to the traditional way in which you were having only equity share capital. So this is the magic of your leverages. This is how your burden is reduced. What is that burden? Burden is nothing, or burden or the weight here is the expectations of your equity shareholders. How can you put in less effort so that you also keep them happy and you're also safe? Even your debenture holders are happy about this. Please keep this in mind. Even your debenture holders are very happy about this because you have paid them whatever was promised to them. If you had promised them 5%, you are paying them 5%. Even if there's loss, you'll be paying them 5% rate of interest. So there is, it's like a win, win, and win situation. So going ahead, let's understand what is operating leverage, what is financial leverage, what is combined leverage. I'll give you 10 seconds of time. Please go through the slide. Right. So what is operating leverage? So I've given you a formula. Before that, we'll just first things first. So meaning of leverage I've explained. Use of using something to maximize your advantage. Meaning of leverage in financial terms. So you actually use borrowed capital for investment or your capital or whatever it is. Expecting the profits made to be greater than interest payable. So since you are paying lesser interest to them, the profits expected by your equity shareholders can be very high. So you can satisfy both of them by using debt in your capital structure. So there are three types of leverages: operating leverage, financial leverage, and combined leverage. So what is operating leverage? So by heart, all the three formulas. Operating leverage, it is contribution by EBIT or percentage change in EBIT. I'll just solve one problem and show you how they both are same. So it is like a replica, or it's like a mirror image. It's like I mean, EBIT goes to the numerator and contribution comes to the denominator if it is percentage change, correct? And financial leverage, it's EBIT by EBT, percentage change in EBT divided by percentage change in EBIT. Next is your combined leverage. Combined leverage can be calculated by either multiplying operating leverage and financial leverage, or its contribution by EBT. I'm really sorry. Contribution by EBT, earnings before tax. Correct? So how did we get this contribution by EBT? It's like contribution divided by EBIT into EBIT divided by EBT. So EBIT in the numerator and EBIT in the denominator gets cancelled. So you'll remain with contribution by EBT. Simple mathematics. Right. We'll solve one problem. So I have taken two situations wherein I've taken a simple problem. Uh, you guys will not be given with, I don't think you will have all the data. You will be given with sales, you'll be given with variable cost, fixed cost, interest and tax. So I have calculated contribution EBIT and EBT. EBT, EAT, all the these things, contribution, EBT, EBIT, EAT, I have calculated. So I hope you guys are familiar with this format. Sales minus variable cost gives you contribution. Contribution minus fixed cost gives you EBIT. So EBIT minus interest gives you EBT. EBT, you deduct tax, you get earnings after tax. Right. Let's calculate operating leverage for all the, both of them. Leverages. Let's calculate operating leverage is nothing but contribution by EBIT, right? So right, the formula is correct. What was our contribution? 2,50,000 divided by 2,50,000 divided by 50,000. Operating leverage is 5, correct? All right, so we'll try it with we'll try operating leverage for the second one also. I'll mark it as 1. It is 3 lakhs divided by 1 lakh. So we have got operating leverage for both of them, correct? So I was talking about this formula, percentage change in EBIT divided by percentage change in contribution. So let's try to calculate that. Percentage change in contribution. I think you guys are aware that there is one formula called, one formula like this. Contribution for the second year minus contribution for the first year divided by contribution for the first year into 100. This gives you percentage change of contribution. what is the change or what is the effect what you are having. I mean, what is the effect or change in contribution that we are trying to calculate. So initially it was 2 lakh 50 and then it became 3 lakhs, correct? From 2 lakh 50 it has jumped to 3 lakhs. So what is the change, percentage change of this contribution? So 3 lakhs minus 2 lakh 50 divided by 2 lakh 50. How much is it coming up to? Let's try with calculator. So it is coming up to 20%. Correct? So there is there is a 20% change in your contribution. Similarly, if we calculate for percentage change for EBIT, let's calculate. So initially it was 50, now it has become 1 lakh. So 1 lakh minus 50 is 50. 50 by 50 is 1. Correct? I mean, it has changed. There's a 100% change. Correct? From 50, it has grown to 1 lakh, which means that there's 100% change. 100%. So, what is the operating leverage? Operating leverage is nothing but percentage change in contribution divided by percentage change in EBIT divided by percentage change in contribution. Correct? Which will come up to 5. So, this is the reason I told, or they both are same. Here also you are getting 5, here also you are getting 5. So when you are making percentage change due to this basic algebra, you guys can try it for yourselves. Operating leverage is equal to contribution by EBIT, and you can write it on left hand side. You can write it as contribution by EBIT is equal to percentage change in contribution. Percentage change in EBIT divided by percentage change in contribution. This formula is what I have considered here. You guys can use it and conclude it, right? You can conclude that LHS is equal to RHS. All right. Similarly, we'll calculate financial leverage. So I'll not be showing both of them. I'll just show using one formula. Financial leverage is equal to EBIT divided by EBT. What is your EBIT here? 50,000 by 20,000. Similarly, for the second situation wherein we have produced 600 units, it will be 1 lakh by 70. So this is your financial leverage. Let's calculate combined leverage for first one, which is nothing but operating leverage into financial leverage, which comes up to 5 into 2.5, which is equal to, correct? I don't know if I'm right. 2.5, right? So similarly for the second one, operating leverage was 3 into financial leverage is 1.43, 3 to 1.43, 4.43. So this is your leverages. It's pretty simple, but always keep in mind your formulas, right? Contribution by EBIT, EBIT divided by EBT, and combined leverage. That is contribution by EBT. So this is about your leverages topic. So in our next module, we'll jump to cost of capital, right? This is a very simple problem. I'll give you a practical problem for you guys to practice. So please do the same and submit it back to me, right? Thank you so much.